29th. And I'm here to say that I'm sorry about what I'm about to say. But I've come to the conclusion that America is not the greatest country in the world. Oh, yes, we're very comfortable, and many of us have plenty of money and everything like that, and we live in nice houses, and we strive to make a good living. But still, in this country, there are 50 million people living at the poverty level. And our world ranking in reading and mathematics and science is just below or just above average. Research has shown that 30 countries scored higher than the U.S. students in math, and that the performance gap between the top performing and lower performing students is widening. And that's especially in reading. And maybe that's because we have all of these books on Kindles and things like that. And you see many cartoons where a kid doesn't know what a book is. And it's important to read and read early. And you can see that much of the hatred in this world, which has erupted against the Asian population, is because they're doing better than us in our colleges and universities and in our high schools. And we don't understand why. And so there are many in this people that hate these people because they're doing better in life than they are. And that's part of our problem. We have not recognized or gotten out of our mind that we are a great country. And so we are lax in a lot of places. And you can see it. You can see it by the mere fact of what we're trying to do with all of the electoral systems around the country. But let me get back to why we're not great. Our healthcare system sucks. The World Health Organization ranked the U.S. 37th in the world for healthcare. And that's in spite of the fact that we spend the most per capita by a large margin. That basically means we're getting ripped off for the health care that we're receiving. So unless you have some particularly awful disease, like a cancer or something, the healthcare system in this country sucks. And in many places in Asia and Europe, the hospitals are much nicer than ours. And the nurses and the doctors who are educated in Europe are supposedly better than ours. And their education costs 1/10 of our education. So that's strike one against us, and that's a big strike. Healthcare is a big, big strike against us. And there are many exams that you can get in other countries that are free and cost us a fortune. And let's not forget what our drugs cost us. And our food is killing us. I'm not going to go into all the details on food, but a lot of it is chemically laced because it's cheaper and tastes better. We are the junk food capital of the world. And that's because we have excess in our way of living. And by the way, as far as living is concerned, we rank 35th in the world in life expectancy. That's not a very good number for a country that believes it's ahead of people in science and in living. So you see, we're not doing that great. We believe constant growth is more important than almost anything else. So we put those things ahead of healthcare and ahead of a respectable education. We revere people who can make money, but we don't look upon other important people in our society with the same adulation. And so for many generations, we have been sold comfort. Move out to the suburbs, buy bigger TVs, live on takeout food. And basically the American population was becoming complacent and obese and entitled. Meanwhile, depression and anxiety disorders are a big problem in this country. And I think much of that induces the violence that occurs in this country. The gun violence, the anti-Semitic, the anti-Asian, the anti-black attitudes. I won't call any of these things the result of mental illness, but I would call it anger and depression. And people are constantly being told about the diversity of this country, and we need to be diverse. And I'm tired of hearing it, because this diversity and this constant repetition of our diversity is driving a spike through the hearts of this country. If we would stop telling people this is the first one of these and this is the first one of those, maybe somebody wouldn't hate those people. Maybe if we just treated everybody the same. If you did the job and you can do the job, you got the job, and it didn't matter what your color was. So we are not doing a great job in our society. And in many cases, we avoid anything that's unpleasant. In many cases, we have created an atmosphere of entitlement of some kind. And we know throughout history, every dominant civilization eventually collapsed because it became too successful. It was powerful and unique, and it grew out of proportion. And the society that within it believed that it was invincible. Do you think that's happening in the United States? Have we become complacent, entitled, and unhealthy? Many of us have risen up from a moderate living to what I would call a very good living. Most of us have probably done better than our parents. Is that a cause to celebrate? Probably in our minds it is. But it's also a warning that we have to take care of others. We have to make sure that everybody can reach a level of sustainability, not hand to mouth, but a minimum amount of comfort in the fact that they can survive and their children can survive. And we have fallen short in lots of areas. And we fight like hell to keep people down. Look at the battle over the minimum wage, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. And there are many in this country that don't understand the value of a higher minimum wage. So I don't think we're a great country. I don't hate us, and I will work hard to help it improve. But sometimes I feel like I'm a voice in the wilderness. So that's it for today, and I hope I gave you something to think about. Bye. In the wilderness. So that's it for today.